Good evening. Tonight is a breaking news special that Catspace has decided to do. This is a topic our very own little brother Aaron has chosen. And on his topic, we are going to discuss the Julia Faustina versus the Madeline McCann case. Good evening. I am Kat. This is Buckets. With me is Aaron, Luna, and Leon. Tonight's topic is quite controversial, so sit back and get ready to have the discussions. All right, question one. Based on the evidence provided by Julia, do you believe that she could be the one and only Madeline McCann?
Who wants to bounce in first?
Who wants to come in on that?
I'll come in. So, when I first saw the video, I definitely believed it straight away. For some reason, the eye, the birthmark, the teeth when she was younger, the jawline, everything. But a couple of days ago, I saw a video. There were these two other little girls that were taken from Switzerland. I believe Switzerland anyway. And what they really look like Julia. They did a comparison and it looks way more like Julia. But I do definitely believe that she is a missing child. There is something going on there. She's like there's something being hidden from her. So yes.
What about you, Aaron?
Where do I start on this one? When I first saw the comparisons, like the eye, the freckles, and stuff, like I truly believed it might be her, but since reading loads of different stuff, like articles and like seeing videos and stuff, like some people have debunked that theory that it could be her, so it's kind of hard to know what to believe, really.
What about you, Leon? Do you believe Julia Faustina is Madeline McCann?
Well, when I first heard about this story, my thought was, okay, we've been through this before. We've been through this heaps of times before, so my instant thought was no, straight off the bat. But when she started posting these comparisons and stuff like that, okay, yeah, that's compelling, right? That's you can't knock it for being compelling and interesting. I don't believe this is Madeline McCann. I believe that this is another one of those people, unfortunately, who want to draw attention to themselves and give themselves 15 minutes of fame. But on the other hand, if this is Madeline McCann, if this is Maddie McCann, then it'd be like almost unbelievable. It'd be I don't know if John Lennon and George Harrison was alive, it'd be as earth-shattering as the Beatles getting back together. I mean, it would be a miracle.
What do you think? Do you think she's the real Madeline McCann?
It's honestly hard to say. So without a DNA test, it's really hard to say. There's one thing going against the whole case, which is her age. So Maddeline McCann, well, the lady who says she's Madeleine McCann, or could be Madeleine McCann, she's currently 21 now, and they kind of did an age comparison, and they said, well, if Madeleine McCann would be alive, she'd be 19. So, but birth certificates can be forged. It's been done before. And she does have a lot of similarities to Madeleine McCann. But if she is Madeleine McCann, oh my God, there is going to be so many questions that are going to be raised. It'll be the story of the century.
And while we're talking about that, sorry to interrupt. Unfortunately, this Julia person who claims she's Madeline McCann has deleted her Instagram account. This is according to Channel 7, by the way. And it also comes after she has quote unquote taken a DNA test.
I've heard that
Yeah.
the doctor,
That is
that doctor is
breaking news.
speaking on her behalf. Quite the psychic, sorry, whatever her name is. She's during all interviews and everything. They're saying they opened up with a video saying, "We're open to any interviews with any news channels, etc." But Julia didn't talk the whole time. It was just that doctor talking, apparently.
The doctor's name
Yeah.
is Dr. Fia Johannesson.
Dr.
She's
Fia Johannesson.
apparently a
I think her name is
Private
the
media?
private investigator you're talking about
private
is Dr.
investigator,
Fia
private
Johansson.
investigator, yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
currently her PR woman. So basically she's not allowing the media to get through to Julia without her.
Exactly.
Do I believe she's Madeline McCann? As you all said, there are similarities, the gap in her teeth, the freckles on the side of her face, the spot, dimple spot, the
eye.
spot on, her eye thing, the spot on her leg, the shape of her jawline, the color of her eyes. The more you study it or look into it, or she has supposedly said that she has asked her mom to show her photos of her mom being pregnant with her, and her mother has actually turned around and said, "No, you're crazy," and she changes the subject. She said, "Oh, we've given her all the evidence she needs. We've given her a photograph of her as a child. We've given her photos of her as a baby." Apparently her teacher said she wasn't even at school at 4 years old even. So the thing is, that's kind of a mind boggle. As you've all said, if she is the real deal, this is going to be one hell of a case closed.
So did you just say that she wasn't even at the school until 4 years old?
Yeah.
Well,
They had no record of her.
They had no record of her name.
hang on, but when do you even start school? No one starts school at 1.
I guess she
No,
doesn't have any kinder
preschool.
records.
For me, I started
probably.
preschool at 4, from say kindy I was 5. So
basically her school has no evidence of her going to that school, no name, no photos, no record of her. And what sparked this whole, I don't think she's come out and said, "I am Maddeline McCann." She said, "I think I may be Maddeline McCann," because she overheard her grandmother saying something to her mother or saying something to her, and that sparked her interest in searching and looking. I mean, you would think, here's the thing that I don't understand is, you go on a holiday with family friends to Portugal, put your kids, your littlies, to bed with the door unlocked. Go have
why
dinner.
would you go out? Why would you go out and leave your kids unguarded in another
Exactly.
country? That's insane.
Like,
You wouldn't even leave your kids alone. You would.
And why would you leave the door unlocked?
exactly, the door was unlocked, and
Yeah.
you go have dinner and dancing and singing and whatnot. Like, you'd be freaking out if your child went missing. But doesn't it seem, I
The
mean,
better question is, how did this guy even know that their door was unlocked and that their children were in there alone?
exactly, and she was with her twins. I mean, they didn't take the other ones; they took her.
Yeah, just one. It's
And-
listen,
Which would lead me to indicate that she's gone out. She's walked out of the building. If the
Yeah.
other two, if nobody got the other two, and Maddie must have walked out of the building on her own.
Yeah, but the thing
But
is,
then get down an elevator too. Press the
Yeah.
button, wait for the elevator, get in, go down.
not to mention get past all the security,
yeah,
and know exactly that she was there.
I mean, they suspected the McCanns for such a long time, but that suspicion was dropped when they said they're not responsible for her being missing.
Didn't one of the family members commit suicide?
No, but I think
Oh.
there was a suspicion on them that they are suspects, but that was dropped eventually. But what I never understood when this case first came out is, if I was a mother, and I'm not, but if I was a mother with children, I would never leave my kids unattended. I would stay with them in the room.
But that's
And I lock
parenting
the door.
that's parenting 101. You don't leave your kids what do you call it?
Unguarded.
Unsupervised.
Yeah.
And-
That's parenting 101 in Australia.
Look,
I don't know how it
we
is
all-
in some
we
other
all know-
countries.
We all know that, but at the same time, exactly, we don't know what the customs are in other countries. I mean, in some countries, they leave the babies out in the cold so their lungs can, be able to breathe better in the cold weather.
I think they've-
Okay.
There is weird practices, or different practices in other countries that maybe this was normal there. Maybe they would leave the children in the room and they would go out and then they would come back. But leaving the door unlocked is a very questionable move.
I mean, like
If
maybe
That was the case.
maybe
Playing
they thought,
Russian
okay, well,
roulette with
the
kids'
security
lives.
in the well, maybe they probably thought, well, the security in the hotel security could quote unquote babysit the kids, sort of. Everything's going to
but
be okay.
This Julia woman has no recollection or any memory of her life
Apart from
at
going
4
to
years old. I mean, as a kid at 4 years old, I barely remember some of my life at 4 years old. I mean, sure, I remember some bits, but at 4, your brain wouldn't collect that information.
Yeah, but you would have at least 1 or 2 memories from
Yeah,
back
of
then.
course.
A really
Yeah.
distinct memory. I've got a memory from when I was like 3 years old. I remember I poured 2-minute noodles behind my desk because I didn't want to eat them. And I told my dad, I'm done eating, Dad. And I'd poured them behind this little desk in my room.
Like, I remember at 4 years old, strutting around thinking I was all that because I'm a daddy's girl. But the thing is, and I love being a child, but the thing is, she doesn't remember anything. The last thing she remembers, apparently, allegedly, she was in a white apartment block, playing with other kids in the sand. That's all she remembers. Now,
that's probably what she's told us. That's the thing.
yeah,
And it's very hard to basically take her word for it, especially when she's the only one saying it.
yeah, and the other thing she said is that she accidentally overheard her mother saying, "Oh, we took her. We took her."
They should put her under a lie detector, see if she really feels this way, like if she really thinks that she's Madeline.
Well,
Do you know what I
apparently she's taken a DNA test,
She's
so
taken a
it's only a matter
DNA
of time before
test.
that DNA test will tell us whether or not she is Maddie McCann.
And
Well,
that's
the thing is, she took a DNA test. Now they have to get the DNA of the mother, and that's
Yes, that's true.
that's
That
what
is
they're
true.
that's what they're petitioning the court for. That's why this Dr. Fear is with her.
yeah, because Julia is taking her mom and dad to court because they refuse to take a DNA test. Now, here's the second question that comes into this. What are the consequences if she turns out to be not Madeline McCann? If she isn't Madeline McCann, what are the consequences?
Oh, if she ends up being the daughter of her mother and father who she's with now, I don't know what this girl's going to go through some pretty bad mental abuse and even some physical abuse. I feel people will come and not only that, the world will react upon this. It's too late. It's already out there. It's viral.
It's hard enough. They're going to say that.
I know, and I don't want her parents to be
and all of that,
her.
and it's going to cause, in my opinion, it's going to cause more problems because
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be like the fame that you don't want. But instead of everyone going supporting you and whatever, it'll be like, no, you just wanted your 15 minutes of fame and you got it. The disgusting person for putting another family through this.
There's definitely going to be accusers.
Well, they've already started doing that to her, where she appeared on her Instagram live crying, saying to her, "Why do you hate me?
Exactly.
What gives you the right to hate me? I've done nothing to you. I'm not a liar. I'm speaking the truth." She goes, "Even if I'm not Maddie, I could be someone. I could be another girl. I could be another taken girl."
I think that's why she's probably said, I could be Maddie McCann, but I'm not sure, or I could be someone else's daughter, but whoever I'm living with right now aren't my parents.
I fear.
Her safety net that she's kind of said, look, if I'm not Maddie McCann, I apologize, but I'm definitely not my whoever I'm living with right now aren't my parents, but someone has to be my parents, but these people aren't.
Because if you look at it this way, if you adopt a child, not a biological child, but if you adopt a child who doesn't look like you, and as they get older, right,
They
Their
put two and two
fa-
together.
Their facial
Yeah.
features
Kind of more
morph into the adopted parents.
Yeah.
100% true.
And they start to take the shape of their adopted parents. Aaron, do you think there'll be consequences for her?
It's hard to say really that like there might be consequences, but as I've always said, if she's not Madeline, she might be another missing person. So, you know,
What do you think, Leon? Do you think there will be consequences for her?
Absolutely, there will definitely be consequences if she is not Maddie McCann. She'll have to stay off social media because social media is a toilet of trolls. That's for sure. I've always said this, and it's always true because there's always going to be someone. There's always going to be some smart ass out there who's going, "Oh, why did you do this? You just wanted to draw attention to yourself. You just wanted Dancing with the Stars. You just got your 15 minutes of fame." Like Aaron said, and like Lisa said as well. You got your 15 minutes of fame. Now what are you going to do? You won't be able to do anything now because nobody is going to believe you again.
That's true.
That's the consequences.
it's like the boy who cried wolf.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it. And what happened in the end? She finally told the truth, but nobody believed him, and the wolf gobbled him up.
Exactly. Here's the next question. Do you believe her parents are hiding something based on the evidence that's been shown about them?
Oh yes, they're definitely hiding something. Like I don't know what they're hiding, but they're definitely hiding something to do with her upbringing and childhood.
What do you think, Luna?
Yes, they're definitely hiding something. I mean, the way they're handling this is so questionable about their parenting methods and what they're willing to tell the world. And if she really was mentally unwell, like why they're not getting help for her, why they're allowing her to continue this way if they love her, if they're her parents, and why would they let her continuously keep going on with this lawsuit unless they knew it was real? They knew something.
Yeah.
They know now that I actually wonder what's going on with her home life right now. Is she living at home at all? Is she
No,
around her
moved out of
mother and
home.
father?
She
Okay.
moved out of home. She's got a record deal. She's also a model by the looks of her Instagram page.
Oh, okay. All
She-
right. See, I wasn't aware of all that.
She signed to a record label. So
Okay.
According to her parents said that that they wanted to get some psychological help for her
Yeah.
for this problem because they said they've had to deal with it before. And the ironic thing is that I've seen cases like this on Dr. Phil where people have thought that they were related to celebrities like Dr. Phil or Eminem and other people. And with this one, it could very well be that this girl thinks that she's a McCann girl purely because that's the case.
It would be very interesting to see how she came up, like how this thought came up. How did someone message her and say, "Hey, mate," or was she thinking about this for years? Maybe. Like I'll be very interested in understanding the
again,
backstory behind it.
how the surfaced is she had her grandmother told her something. And
yeah, so how long ago was that? That's what I'm saying. What's the timeline here? What are we looking at? Are we looking at she just found out and she's straight away going viral with it? Or
no, this was a while ago. This was a while ago that her grandmother said something to her, and then she apparently on her Instagram said she spoke to the police in Poland and they laughed at her and rejected her and turned her away.
Yeah.
Then she tried to go somewhere else with the federal police and they turned and laughed at her, called her a liar. So that's the whole thing. Leon, do you believe her parents are hiding something?
Well, they might be hiding something, but I don't believe that they're hiding the real situation with Julia. Now, the reason I say that is because if the parents know that this is completely absurd, they're not going to entertain this. They'll just, whatever, go ahead and go about your business because you've done this before. This is the mental illness, possibly. This is the way that the parents are responding to this. Like, You've done this before. Stop bringing us into it. We're not interested in your little paternity test to make sure that we it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to say, but I think at this stage, the parents have heard this before, and they're not going to entertain this, and they're not going to entertain the media, because if the parents are so convinced that she is who she says she is, and that's Julia, not Maddie, then it'll come out in the wash, but it won't be because of her parents, if these are her parents.
Well, I just think that, look, if to raise a child, I mean, doesn't she have another sister as well?
Well, Maddie
I
had
think I read that, yeah.
Well, I mean, like the parents that she's currently with, doesn't they?
Julia, yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, so
Not
why, like raising, like they already have one child, right? So unless they did an adoption process or something like that, raising children, it's expensive, right? And if you've already got one child that's your natural born child, I mean, unless you really are trying to be a hero and adopt and protect a child that you don't know who the child's parents are, unless you're dedicated to that, why would you take on an extra child? I don't know. Maybe they are, and maybe they did take an adopted kid. But
I have heard of some sort of similar incident happening at one stage on the Jeremy Kyle show. Yes, I would know, because I was in the UK and I knew about this fella. He hosted a show in the UK called the Jeremy Kyle Show, where a young lady came up and said, like, you are the father and stuff like that, this, and they both agreed on a paternity test, and the results came in, and it turned out that this guy was not the father, and this guy was absolutely devastated, the fact that he got dragged through the mud, and it almost broke him. You don't want this kind of stuff playing out in the media like this, because of something similar like that happened. If I remember right, and I don't know if Aaron can actually confirm this, but a fella took his own life after appearing on the Jeremy Kyle show, if I remember right. Do you remember this one, Aaron?
Yeah. Well, the episode in question wasn't actually aired, and then right after the episode that they filmed, he took his own life. And
I think the Jeremy Kyle show was cancelled after that, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was cancelled just like a few days after that.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one. Dr. Fia Johansen is a psychic medium and private investigator. She said Maddeline McCann will be found in 2023. Is she on the correct pathway? She apparently predicted this a while back and said Maddeline McCann will be found alive. She'll be a singer, and she'll be found in 2023. Is she correct?
Yeah, but you do see how that's a massive conflict of interest, right?
Now, if Julia does not now become Madeline, now this is going to look really sus. It's going to look like that this woman maybe possibly set it up to look like her vision was coming true. If Julia isn't Madeline, if she is Madeline, then this is absolutely insane. Mind-boggling.
But if she just did it to further her career, that's a really selfish thing to do.
And it
oh
would
my
have
God,
ended both their careers.
They will get
Johansson's
attacked.
career and also Julia's career.
And like there are a lot of good, genuine psychics out there that just want to help. But if she's done this to further her career or legitimize her career, I just say that that's a really selfish thing to do.
What do you think?
Sorry. No, I was going to say maybe they'll twist, if that is the case, maybe they'll twist it to make it look like well, she did predict something about Madeline. Maybe it didn't turn out to be Madeline, but she predicted something about Madeline. Maybe she'll make it like the vision was that maybe it was Madeline. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She goes from psychic to spin doctor.
What do you think, Aaron?
Well, if she really is Madeline, then obviously her vision has come true. But if she's not Madeline, I think she'll have a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
If she is Madeline, okay, I can guarantee you every single talk show host will want to basically talk to her. She will be the new Oprah, effectively.
Are you kidding? She'll be the new
Thea,
Harry and
Thea will
Meghan.
go viral. Everyone will believe
Yeah,
everything she
she'll be
says.
bigger than that other psychic, John.
She'll be the new Harry and Meghan.
No. She'll be bigger than that. She'll be the if this is proven correct, okay, she will be bigger than John Edwards. Or John Edwards, I should say. If this is correct.
Apparently,
If this is proven wrong, yeah.
She's going to look like a goat.
like for me, how I see it, and again, these are just our opinions. We're not hating on Julia. We're just trying to dissect everything. Is a lot of people on TikTok, and I mean, no offense to anyone on TikTok, but a lot of people have believed this woman that has said Julia will be found and she'll be a singer. And now this girl, 21 years later, is a singer and she's a model. This is where the final question comes in.
Hang on. But just before that, you realize how remote this is. You know, this possibility is that she'd be found in 2023. And also, we're to take into consideration, we're only 3 months into 2023. So if this is not Madeline, then, you know, it just goes back to I spotted Madeline. Yeah, whatever. What else is on the TV? I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
It'll make us less likely wanting to pay attention.
Oh my God, it'll be on for months. It'll be on for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Okay,
no one will want to watch it.
Definitely going to be on the top 20 that
conspiracy theories of 2023.
It'll be counted down.
Oh my God, the conspiracy theorists are going to go crazy with this one.
There's nothing else on television except for COVID.
It'll definitely be one of those big stories that is like repeated at the end of the year. Like, oh, this happened.
This will be bigger than the Queen's funeral.
Do you know what's going to?
No way. This is not going to be bigger than the Queen's funeral.
Well, for a start, the Queen's funeral's already happened.
Yes, I get that. And that was last year as well.
That was last year. But as far as 2023, I reckon the 5 biggest things that everyone's going to be talking about. One is probably going to be maybe Big Brother if it ever comes back. 2, Gogglebox. 3, the Maddeline McCann thing. And 4, maybe the Ukraine war after that.
Well,
I'm glad you mentioned Big Brother because Channel 7 did try to make money off the Markles by bringing, one of Morello's
Thomas.
and for the Celebrity Big Brother, which should have been called Big Brother, the death of a franchise.
Like, let's take a look at this final question and dissect it. Should we discuss Julia's parents, folks? Apparently, Julia's parents have recently put out a statement through their lawyer or PR person, said, we will not entertain this. We will not be answering questions. We don't want to do interviews. Please stop sending us hate mail or questions. Julia has a case of mental illness. She's run away from home previous times. We've sent her to a mental place, like a rehab place or mental place for her mental health. She's avoided taking medicines. She's avoided taking medication. She has a history of mental illness. Here's the thing that's troubling me, and laugh at me all you want. Is this girl a case of a quote unquote conservatorship gone wrong, where she's asked some questions about her life and they've tried to send her away to get help and put her on medications, and they've tried to control her where she no longer takes medication. She no longer gets the help. She's run away. She's moved out, and she's taken her life back.
Well, this is the thing about psychological pills per se, right? So they might kind of help along the way, but there'll never be a cure. And a lot of those medications have severe symptoms. So it could be just a problem of Julia not wishing to take her medication and not wanting to get the help that she needs. And therefore, her problems and her theories and are just kind of manifesting to the point where she thinks she's Maddeline McCann. And that's really, really sad. But we also have to think that that could be a real reality, because it's happened before with many other people that have had a lot of psychological problems like schizophrenia.
Yeah.
So I'm not really ruling that one out. But then again, trying to force someone to think that they're a different person is also kind of immoral as well. And that is a really high possibility, especially if the parents are trying to hide the fact that they know who she is. And her real parents actually know that she's actually gone and that she's not dead. But what's really sad about this is the fact that she's been sexually assaulted or anything like that, and the police don't care. Why aren't we addressing the real crimes that she's clearly said, hey, I've been raped here, and
We call that essay now.
and the police aren't doing anything about that. It isn't. I think there's something wrong with that. So if they just base it on, okay, the crimes that have been committed against her, and then do an investigation based off that, then you'll actually get to a real result quicker than you would if whether or not you believe someone is who they say they are.
What do you guys think?
Oh, it's a hard one to explain. Like, there's obviously something fishy going on,
Hmm.
you know, and yeah, it's a hard one to explain. Like, she might be Madeline McCann, she might not. So
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
it's fishy because it's on social media. Because everyone thinks
Yeah.
the worst of it because it's on social media.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
The interesting part will be now what her supposed birth parents are going to do. If they just up and disappear, then that will be really suspicious, I guess. I don't know why her birth parents have to be acting like this towards everything. They could just come out and get it over and done with so quickly. Be done with it, the whole world would stop. But I don't think they realize how viral this has gone.
Yeah.
I think they kind of do, but they're trying their best not to get involved.
Well, that's what that where they said, you know, can you please leave us alone? We don't she's mentally ill, blah blah. That was deflecting so that they can buy themselves time.
Yeah.
Because if this turns out to be true, they're going to get all their threats, police, they're going to be investigated. It's going to be a very
It's going to be there's going to be a lot of red zone, a lot of questions, a lot of doors are going to be broken down. But the thing is that what Julie has actually said is my rapist is in prison right now.
Yeah,
So know where her
It's called essay for
sexual assault.
essay.
That's what
essay.
essay stands for sexual assault.
Yeah, but you use the terms essay. That's what they call it now as well. But what do you think, Leon?
I agree with Luna. I agree with you also, Kat. Look, but I think the parents, as you said, they've already put out a statement, and they're not going to entertain this, as you said, Kat. At the same time, Luna's right. If they could nip this in the butt right away, this will be done and ended, and this show will be over. But the longer it drags on, the more people are going to be drawn into this, you know, and more people are going to think, hey, this young lady could very well be Madeline McCann. What are their parents trying to hide? I agree with Luna. Like, if they really want this over and done with instantly, take the paternity test. If you're damn sure, if you know for sure, then take the test. knock it out, and Julia's 15 minutes of fame is over.
Exactly.
I do understand that it could be quite painful for the parents if they believe that what's her name?
Julia.
Julia isn't actually who she says she is. So I do understand what all the parents are kind of going through if they're genuine and whatever. But at the same time, as you say, there's one way of fixing this, and they just all take a DNA test and that's it. And they don't have to
Exactly.
deal with the media anymore, and they just have to shut down accounts and move on with their lives.
Exactly.
Mm.
Well,
The
the
sad
one-
thing
one
is
other-
too,
sorry.
if she, sorry,
Go
I'll
ahead,
go,
go
yeah.
ahead, Lena. Go ahead, Lena.
If she if she does turn out to be their daughter, like, she's not going to have them as a support system at all anymore. I wonder what this has already done to their relationship, as you know, that sorry, daughter, mother, father relationship. If they turn out to be her parents, what is she going to do? Like,
Yeah, what happens if she
Yeah.
loses?
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say that. What happens if she is not Madeline McCann and her parents are her parents?
exactly.
Then the mental illness issue, it's gonna be 10 times as worse, because she won't be able to go on social media, which she seems to have a tendency of doing.
They'll put her in a loony bin 100%.
Yeah,
They'll
exactly.
pick her up and they'll.
She'll have to stay away from social media, because like I said at the start, the social media can be an absolute toilet of trolls.
Mm.
And you've got to worry about her mental state if she is not Madeline McCann, but if she is the parents, you got to worry about her mental state straight away. It's got to be dealt with straight away.
I just hope that for Julia's sake, whether she is or not, gets the help she needs and gets a lot of love and kindness and empathy sent her way. Because whether she is or not, this is going to rock her world either way. It's going to either make her or it's going to shatter and break her. And
that's why she has to stay away from social media.
And I'm praying she,
For a lot of many years,
Yes.
for many years, I pray she finds the peace that she needs and to find out who she really is. Do you agree, Aaron?
Yeah. I totally agree. Like, hopefully in like the years to come, like she'll find out who she really is, and find peace in that, you know.
Well, that's our podcast for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. We really hope you enjoy this podcast. We're going to leave the comment section open for your thoughts and comments. Let us know what you think of our podcast, and don't forget to subscribe and press the bell. It'll help us get a long way. You'll be getting lots of content. And let us know your feelings and thoughts on this whole Madeline McCann case. Is Julia Faustino Madeline McCann, or is she another taken girl? Let us know what you think. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace, love, and light to all of you. Stay safe and stay happy. Good night. Night, Australia. Night, world.
I
Right.